That's when I remember who I am. I'm a black king, crown a little cracked up. Need a little trap queen, need to get my racks up. Wanna be on flat screens, don't wanna be passed up. Chasing this rap dream, please don't wake me back up. I backed up for a better view and bigger pictures. Focus on the future, I can sense the bigger ventures. My foresight, 2020 tunnel vision. Hindsight in the past, I pay little attention. My locks swaying as I'm walking to my goal. That's part of my crown, it symbolizes growth.
What is up, guys? This is Chandler the Hammer Cole back with the TeamCole show. And man, what a better time to do one than right after my fight on the Ultimate Fighter. Didn't get the win, but I'm glad that I get to come back and do another show with you guys. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. I've been working a lot of overtime at my job at the prison and just really haven't had time to do anything. But tonight I got some time and I told myself, why not do it the night after my fight? So let's get into things. All right, first and foremost, I want to talk about Fitness Chandler. He is an alter ego of myself. When Fitness Chandler clicks in, I mean, there's nobody on this planet as fit as me. I mean, you're talking about a man that does 5,000 squats every morning, you know. But Fitness Chandler don't always wake up, and that's one thing that has got a lot of things said about me on the internet, which is okay. It's fine. But that is what also brings me to this next topic. Zach Paga had some things to say about me on the show, which is totally fine. You're allowed to have your opinion. But I made a little video, and I thought it was hilarious. And he supposedly didn't like it, which is fine. But the one thing that I do want to comment on is he had made a comment and said that me getting hurt on the show was the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I get to go back to my hometown and say that I could have been the Ultimate Fighter, which is crazy because I know how hard I work, and that is not what I want to go back and tell people. And definitely not going to say I should have, would have, could have. That stuff don't exist. And you know, me getting hurt was definitely not the best part of my time at the Ultimate Fighter. It was actually excruciating, which we'll get to in what I want to talk about next. ESPN kind of dropped a head title and some footage of me and Amanda talking, and I really wanted to touch base on that because I don't want anyone to think that I don't trust Amanda or I didn't like Amanda. I love Amanda Nunes. She's probably one of the most selfless people I've ever met in my life. She open-armed all of us. She still talks to us to this day. She loves us to death. And she was a great coach. I know a lot of the internet wants to kind of pick, at Amanda and kind of, slam her, but she was a wonderful coach, and I wish that they would just show that a little more. But here's where conflict happened. For you guys that don't really understand what happened to my arm, so we went and followed up with the doctor, and the doctor had informed me that I had a complete tear of my UCL. So what that means is it was a grade 4, which is completely torn in half. Usually when this happens to someone, they would have to have Tommy John surgery and be out for a year. I won't speak on that, but so it was actually really bad. And the doctor had said even on the show that, usually he would say 4 weeks of absolutely nothing. And then you would start physical therapy. And at first I was told that I wouldn't need surgery. But then when I got home, they said that I would need surgery. And that's kind of what I was dealing with, is just the fact of I knew that medically I wasn't supposed to be fighting. But I'd already went out there and he left it up to me. They actually told me that, it was going to limit me tremendously, but I would just have to fight with it. And there was even times in practice when me and Niall, I can remember I was training and me falling. And I fell one time on it and it popped. And the first initial time when me and Niall was going, he threw his leg over and it caught the outside of my arm and it popped it. And I instantly grabbed my arm and I yanked it and it popped again. I was like, oh God, that didn't feel right. There's something wrong. A couple days later, I was wrestling. I was in a wrestling exchange. I posted, popped again, grabbed it, pulled it, popped again. So I didn't really know what was going on. If I had to think about what exactly was going on, I would probably see that my elbow was slipping out of place and I was popping it back in. I'm not a doctor, but it's very common, and the doctor also said that that's probably what happened. So I had those things happen in practice. So I asked Amanda if we could slow down on me posting on it, wrestling, things of that nature. I was completely fine with striking. I was completely fine with going and running, which I did most of the time. My fight camp consisted of me running a lot. Probably the most running I've ever done in my life. But that's what I wanted to do, just so to make sure, I would hate for my elbow to pop out and me go to pop it back in and not be able to. That was a real scare for me, and that's what my main fear was, is just not making it to the cage and not being able to fight. And, I just think that we kind of just misunderstood each other as far as why I didn't want to go hard in practice the week of or wrestle. And that's okay. People are allowed to disagree. That's one thing that's beautiful about life. But I'm here to tell everybody that my respect for Amanda Nunez is through the roof. She will forever hold a very special place in my heart. And I love her, Nina, Balbino, Kami, Roger, all them guys. I will love them for the rest of my life for what they did for me at the Ultimate Fighter. And super grateful for all my coaches. And that actually, fast forward, that moves us to the fight. And I'm going to try to explain this really well for you guys because there's so much stuff going on the internet. So I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth itself. First and foremost, no excuses. If it was a real MMA fight, I would have lost in the third round. It is what it is. Kudos to Jordan for being tough and taking some of those shots. It happens. But there was a different dynamic to the fights that we participated in, and that's why I want to kind of explain where my head was, what happened in the third round, and things of that nature that kind of played a big role. So I came out and I thought that I looked good. I hit him with that spinning heel kick, which was funny because I had talked about that all week long. I was like, man, I'm going to hit him with it. And everybody thought I was joking. But when the time came, it happened. So I talked about it and, I kind of manifested that. And it landed. And boy, could it not have looked beautiful. It looked more beautiful. And the first round ended and I felt good. I was like, okay, good deal. Second round, I got this. I can go out there and fight again. Second round was a lot closer. I still thought I won. Not because I picked him apart. I don't want it to sound like I picked him apart, but I just felt like everything he was throwing, my head was moving. Everything that was coming at me was missing me. And I felt better about that than anything. And every time I hit him, I know it landed. Well, not every time, but you know what I'm saying? Is I felt in my gloves when I hit him. I hit with a lot of power, and I just never felt a power shot in the second round. So going back, and this ain't me rewatching this. This is me talking about live and kind of where my mind was. So I was moving my head. I was watching everything. I felt completely okay. I go back to my corner in between the second and third, and I look at Amanda and Roger, and I'm like, hey, did I win? And they was like, yeah, you won. And, they didn't even bring in a stool, which I'm glad. Honestly, at first, some people was like, dang, if they would only brought in the stool. And I seen a comment where people say that, but I wouldn't have wanted a stool anyways because my feet and my legs were beat to death from all them kicks. And, dude, I'm glad they didn't because I don't like sitting on a stool when I've thrown kicks like that anyway. So as far as that goes, that was the right move. That was not on them. I wouldn't have wanted a stool even if I'd had the opportunity to get one. But we thought we won. Even the cut man, he said, this is over. He's wiping me off. I'm feeling good. I'm like, yo, give me a drink of water. Getting a drink of water, and then instantly when they say, hey, round 3, okay, so here's the difference in fighting a 3-round fight and then fighting in the Ultimate Fighter when they say you have a 3-round fight. For me, all of the pressure of fighting that first round left my body. I was like, thank God. And when they told me that I had to fight that third round, when everyone around me is telling me, like, hey, it's done, you're good, it's over, when I know that the first round should have been a 10-8, and I'm thinking, I'm safe, I'm good deal. When they said, hey, we got a third round, instantly in my head it clicked. Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed, because that's the motto that I live off of. That's what I've told everybody since day one. And that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to kill him. It sounds very crazy, but I was like, I'm going to send him to the Shadow Realm, and I'm not going to fish him back out this time. So my mindset going into that third round was, I'm going to leave it all out there, and I'm going to knock his head off his shoulders. Which we circled, and that's exactly what we did. We stood in the bucket and we banged, and that's what I was going to do. I had confidence in my hands, and I was landing good, and I even dropped them. So here's where the confusion comes. So after the fight, I was talking to Eduardo, and I said, man, I cannot believe I got knocked out on the Ultimate Fighter. And he was like, bro, I don't know what happened. And I was like, I shouldn't have just stood in the pocket. I should not have done that. So then he's like, no, what you shouldn't have done is you shouldn't have shot. And I said, shot? I didn't shoot. I didn't wrestle, because the wrestling was out of the game plan. For anyone who knows me, I'm a wrestler at heart. I would have wrestled. I wanted, my safeness, like to be safe, wrestling would have been the bread and butter of what I wanted to do. But because my elbow, and what happened in the fight, man, that's another thing. I landed that spinning heel kick, and I ran up, and like when I grabbed the guillotine and I pulled, I felt my elbow pop. I was like, oh God, let go of that. He scrambled very well, and got back up, came back from the dead. I was like, okay. So when I'm running away or whatever, pops back. Every time I threw an overhand right, it was popping. It just, the craziness of that fight, and just everything all together, I'm thinking that I got knocked out because the wrestling was not in the game plan. Wrestling was not what I was going to do, because I knew that I couldn't grab and hold on to nothing, because every time at practice when I tried to, I was getting hurt. So I told myself initially that I was not going to wrestle. So for a couple days, I thought that I had been knocked out. And Eduardo explained to me that I took a shot, and I was like, okay, well, we have to go back and watch it. We got to watch it a couple days later, and boom, there it was. Took the, honestly going back, it wasn't a bad shot, just had no intentions of finishing it. I don't know what happened, and I hate that. I can only think of 2 times in my fight career that's happened, that I've been hit and then nothing registers. And I don't know if it's autopilot. I don't know. And that's just some things I'm going to have to go back and fix and try to figure it out. I don't know. But, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to speak on as far as the fight goes. And also, I want to give a shout out to Jordan. I don't think he's getting enough credit. And this is the not that funny guy that walked around the house, not Fitness Chandler, but this is the guy that knows this fight game. And if anyone on this planet would have been gifted with that third round, they'd have took advantage of it. And he got the third round. The judges are the ones to blame, not him. He did nothing wrong. The judges gave him the third round. He came out and he executed. And there's nothing that I hold against him. He's a great competitor, tough guy. And we put on a show. And I'm a little biased, but one of the best fights that I've seen on TUF. And I'm glad that I got to be a part of it. Would I have rather won? Of course. Would I have rather the circumstances be a little different? Kinda. I think if my elbow would have been good, you'd have seen a more wrestling approach. And I wouldn't have got to exercise my stand-up. For you guys who have been following me for years now, you know that I've not really stood up in my fights. I've not really got to do those things. So to get to stand up and bang and showcase my stand-up that I've been working on for years was amazing. And it was great to do on the Ultimate Fighter. That's going to go down in history as one of the coolest fights, I think, in history as far as the Ultimate Fighter goes. And I think that it's also going to go down that spinning heel kick. A lot of people keep talking to me about it, but I've been throwing that for years. And I think that just to be on that stage and get to do some stuff like that is amazing. Bummed out I didn't win. It sucks. but you live and learn. And if I held on to any type of hate, if I held on to any type of anger or frustration over it, then I'd be a sad man. You gotta move past it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know what's next. All I know is that the world knows me, and the world knows I can fight, and it's exactly what I've been preaching about the whole time. This is just one step forward for me doing great things, and one step closer to me making sure that my daughter has financial freedom. So that's the ultimate goal, and that's what I plan on doing. So I'm excited about everything going on. Still blessed, still hungry, still want to do amazing things in my community, and just keep going from there and see what happens. My Instagram's blowing up right now for all the times that you've heard buzzing. I didn't turn my vibration off, but man, and this life I live is amazing. Absolutely amazing to be where I'm from and then do what I get to do. And the support system I have is just absolutely incredible. And I'm glad that you guys kind of got to see a look into it. And I'm going to be posting more stuff on my YouTube. And hopefully you guys get to see more. And that's my job. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure to share all this stuff with y'all. And just, I don't know. You never know what could happen. Hopefully get some sponsors that, pay some money. And then not have to worry whether or not bills are paid and stuff. That's the goal. That's the goal. I got a great job, but I want to be able to train full time and stuff like that. So this is just the first step. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the fight. Sorry that I didn't get to win. Happens, but y'all support is fucking amazing, and I love you all. And before we go, I'm glad that I just remembered this. Before we go, so I haven't done a podcast in a while, but I've gave out 2 TeamCole People's Champs awards. So the first one I want to give away to was the first guy, the first young man that got it. His name was Trey James, and sadly on May 13th of 2022, his life was taken in a car accident, and he really brought this community together, and this community mourns for his family still. So if you guys could please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers, they would greatly appreciate that. And the second one is Jamie McCannon. That he's a great athlete going to UT. First John I. Burton recipient of the Gene Pappy Thompson Award, and just a good kid. I sat and talked to him forever. We done a little photo shoot, and he's the second. He's the second recipient of the TeamCole People's Champ, which is an award I'm going to start giving to local kids, local people who just do great things. And that's going to be my way to just give you guys some recognition. And that's all. That's all that I have. Congrats to Jamin for all that he's doing in the world. And subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. I need those subscriptions so that you guys can keep up with it. I'm going to do a technique of the week probably tomorrow. And then also I'm going to start a vlog. So you guys give me some comments on what I should call it. I got some ideas, but I haven't really put it into the works yet. So as soon as I get that in line, those will be dropping. I got a great first episode about to drop that's going to blow you guys away. And just blessed about everything. So you guys keep up with the journey, and I promise you not to disappoint. So TeamCole, baby.
As I'm walking to my goal, that's part of my crown. It symbolizes growth. I made my mistakes, I'm minimizing those. I hope people listen, don't just memorize some quotes. We came a long way from slave ships, whoa. Took